guys, welcome back. So this video is on how I made this like wrap top that can be worn 3 ways. I've been seeing these like all over Instagram. I'll show you how you can wear it different ways, but I really wanted one, so I made one. I'm so excited. Okay, and how I made this skirt, it has a little slit. It's like one of those form-fitting skirts. Really cute together, right? Okay. But this isn't necessarily like a full-on tutorial because it's like the first time I'm doing one of these like sewing things. So this is a self-drafting set. So if you want to make one yourself, you can make it according to your size. More details on exactly what you need will be on my blog. It's in the description, but throughout this video, I kind of explain it like from my stance and what I did for mine. So if you want to make one too, so we can be matchy, we can be twins, okay? You can like look at my blog so you can figure out how to draft them for yourself, and you can have hot girl summer. I can't believe I said that, hot girl summer. But yeah, I'm really like proud of this. I get like really good like beach vibes, like I'm gonna go to the beach, like I'm on vacation or something, but I'm not. I'm just in my apartment next to a wall in my bedroom. There's my closet. But it's still super cute, so if you want to make one, gosh, my hair's been weird. If you want to make one, follow along with my blog. I hope you enjoyed this video. This will soon be my crafts corner. I don't have a desk yet or anything, but for this video, I'm just gonna use this nice stand and I'm gonna make it happen. There's like mess over there, you can kind of see it, but don't look at it, okay? Okay, so some measurements you're gonna need for this skirt is first your waist, wherever you want this skirt to fit you. So for me, let's say this is measurement A, and for me, my waist is a size, waist is 26 inches. So that divided by 2 is 13 inches, plus an additional inch for seam allowance. So I'm gonna say plus 1 inch for seam allowance. So I'm gonna say my measurement A is 14 inches. Next, we're gonna need measurement B. So B is like your widest part of your hips. So for me, that is, let me actually take it right now. Okay, so then measurement B, which we just took, and then measurement C. So for B, my widest is 36 inches, and then that divided by 2 is 18 inches plus 1 inch for seam allowance. So then measurement B is gonna be 19 inches. Then measurement C, the space between A and B, that for me is about 10 inches, okay? And then the last measurement you're gonna need, or maybe the second to last, you can also measure out how long you want your slit to be, but I'm just gonna wing it as I go along. It's gonna be this measurement, which is gonna be measurement D. So this for me, so measurement D is gonna be 15 inches with a seam allowance. So it was 14, I added an inch to it because we're gonna hem the ends when we finish off. Once you have all these measurements in place, we're also gonna need to get this little band, which will probably be about like, it's gonna be a rectangle in the end, but the width of how wide you want it to be, I'm gonna make mine about 3 inches, and then this length of it will be the same as your waist. So if I'm putting it in halves, because we're gonna fold the fabric as we go and then cut it along, I'm gonna say about like 14 inches here. Now I'm gonna take these measurements and I'm gonna like put it up against this fabric. I honestly first have to see if I have enough fabric. I hope I do, but we'll see. We're first gonna take our fabric facing its good side, and if we have enough fabric, you're gonna fold this on its bias. You wanna cut on the bias, which means like a diagonal effect. You can look it up for more specifics, but you pretty much like put it into a triangle. You take one corner and you flip it so it matches this other corner, like so. Instead of the bias, I'm gonna cut it like, I'm just gonna fold it equally into like this really long rectangle and cut it like that, because if not, this isn't gonna be enough. And I need it to be enough because it's so pretty. Today has been a weird day for me, man. Strange days. Okay. So yeah, this definitely will be enough. I just gotta get it all nice and neat in place. Like all these like sewing videos I watched on YouTube, they're always like, for something flowy, cut it on the bias, right? And it looks like it takes up a lot of fabric. Like you end up having these really big scraps. Maybe one day when I can like just like buy a lot of fabric and then, I don't know. Seems quite wasteful. So first, measurement A. Mine is 14 inches. So 14 inches is here exactly. Taking my handy dandy pen, I'm gonna mark this off. And then going down for measurement C, from there it's 10 inches. Right there, I'm gonna measure about 19. Wow, this is like pretty much exactly 19. That's crazy. 19 inches is right here on the dot. Should probably put it this way. All right, so that 10 inches, yes. Remeasuring. So A, C, and then B. And then we're gonna take measurement D, which is the length. We're gonna keep this the same all the way down, plus 15 inches, which is right here. Oh, not bad at all. I have way more fabric. Oh, this is gonna be good. So another 15 inches, about right here. Right here. Let me put this one pin this way also, just so it like stays in place as much as I can. You guys can't even see me right now, but here would be really helpful if you had fabric, chalk, or just chalk in general. I would say like mark out your lines so that when you cut, they're like really even. Yo, this looks really short. Am I that short? No. Wait. If it lands right here, it is like right above my knee. I think I'm gonna add an extra inch just for safety measures. Because looking at this fabric on the floor, it looks so short. Okay, I'm gonna make this 16 inches. So like right there instead. I'm just gonna cut this on a whim, or should I not? I should have really like bought some fabric chalk so I could draw this out. Okay, I'm gonna try to like sketch out the line where I'm gonna go using this. It's gonna pin it in place so I get like an idea of the shape. La-di-da-di-da. La-di-da-di-da. Okay. I just gotta cut it. I gotta cut it and then figure it out after I do this. It's all a learning process, one big step at a time, cutting as straight as I can. Next, we gotta cut out that little band that we're gonna put on the top. I'm gonna cut one of those rectangles out real quick, and then we can start putting the skirt together. If you have a zipper, add a zipper if you'd like. I'm probably gonna add a zipper. This is gonna be my second time ever using a zipper, but yeah. 3 inches for the band. Oh, 14. Here to there. It's like, I'll get this like filming situation better later. My apartment's like pretty small. I don't know how I'm gonna be doing this, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure something out. All right, and this is the last piece for the skirt. Here we go now. Sorry for all that ruckus in the back. Hisham is here, so he's doing things. Okay, so I'm gonna start sewing this, okay? I'll like set up my sewing machine and I'll show you what I'm doing. First, before you even start sewing your actual skirt and like top, I would say to take a scrap piece of fabric and like do a little tester of like the tensions and stuff. I should fix that. I want it to be ooh, do I want it to be zigzag? I do. It's probably gonna fray. So I'm gonna like see what looks best. Sorry for my chair. It's a little loud, but it's the only one I have. I feel like a mess. I literally feel like a mess. I don't really know what I'm doing with the setup. This is, it's a little frustrating. This floor isn't sturdy. The plug over there, only one of it works. So like, okay, sew the paint away. Let's see. So, since we added like an inch seam allowance, when you look at the side of your machine, wow, okay, can you see? It's a little dark, yes. Pulls you closer. I'm gonna be doing the little mark right in between 5/8, can't really see it, 5/8 and 3/4, I mean 3/8, so it's gonna be 4/8. You want it to be right on the 4/8 line, so it's an inch exact. So, right now we're gonna pin this piece, the waist piece, onto the skirt, okay? So, where is my pinning thing? It's right here. Gotta get my stuff together. I gotta get myself together. I feel like a conjobulated mess. I feel like I'm, okay. So we're gonna take our fabric like this, put it out wide, nice and wide. And we're gonna face both the pretty sides together, okay? This is the top of the skirt, like where your waist would be, the thinnest part. And I just pinned together, good sides facing together, the waistband and the skirt. And now we're gonna put a straight stitch all across here so that later we can just flip it around like so, and we'll have a waistband with the skirt. So, doing a straight stitch as close as we can because I didn't really calculate for seam allowance. But I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. Okay, so I have this ginormous pack of invisible zippers that I bought from Amazon like 6 months ago, and did I even use one? I probably used one. I don't know. What zipper? Purple? Okay, I think purple too, thanks. Purple will be it. So, right now I'm about to like re-Google how to install a zipper. I would suggest looking up a video. If you don't want to install a zipper, you know, you don't got to. But I kind of want to for this. And I've only ever done it once. And like, I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm gonna Google it. So right now I just finished sewing on half of the zipper, like on this side, oh, it looks pretty nice, right? But then on the inside it's actually kind of crazy. So when I placed this, I had to watch a video on how to put a zipper, but when I placed this, since we put like about an inch seam allowance, make sure that when you're sewing your zipper, it's about half an inch on each side, so in total it's an inch. So my fabric I'm using also frays a lot, that's why I put like a zipper stitch, a zigzag stitch on the side right here. It kind of went a little crazy, but right now I'm doing the same thing on this side. You also want to fold over this belted piece when you're doing it, when you pin it all in place. And yeah, right now I kind of like messed up my zipper. So I have to seam rip the whole thing. I feel like the seam ripper is a thing that I've used most ever since I started sewing. Cause like I sewed this, like the second half of the zipper, like it was twisted when I sewed, like I pinned it in place and I didn't realize. So now I gotta do it again. Okay, so I just sewed a line, a little stitch across the top and tucked in the thing for the waist bit, and oh my gosh, girl, it's looking so cute with this. I would iron this if I had an iron to like keep it in place, but I don't. So my slit, I tried it on and it's gonna be like around this. This looks like a fish face to me for some reason, like it's upside down and that's the mouth, but I'm gonna just cut a straight line as much as I can, like this, just the front fabric, like this. And then I'm gonna like fold it over, like for example at the bottom, I'm gonna fold it over twice so that those little ends are all tucked away. So once, twice. I'm gonna do it like that here. And then when you get to the top of the V, when you're doing your front stitch, I would just say like to square it off and then come back. But yep. Got her all nice and pinned up after like 30 minutes of sitting here pinning things in place. So now I'm gonna sew it and then I'm pretty much done. So that actually, it took me a really long time. It took me way more than I expected. All right, so hey guys, I'm back. Today's the next day. I finished making the skirt and ooh, she's looking super cute. Right, like okay, right here it kind of looks like some fabric and whatnot, you can't really see it, but I made the slit. Can you imagine? That's a leg. That's a slit, super cute, fits nice and high-waisted, and it like actually fits the waist and everything. The zipper, I still didn't like pin this down yet or like sew it down, but the back, can you see the zipper? Yes. I didn't make the invisible zipper invisible, but it's okay. It's still gonna work out. And for the top, I wanted to make one of those like I don't know what they're called. Like I've been seeing them a lot on Instagram. I feel like they're usually like bathing suits, but I want to make a top like that to match. It's literally like a little Bandeau piece, right? And then you like connect it right here. You can tie it off, or you can tie it like around your neck. You'll see what I mean. So I'm just gonna take my measurement, my bust measurement, and wherever I want it to stay open, probably like 28 by a total of 6 inches. So I'm gonna add an inch to all of that, because then I'm gonna add for seam allowance. So I'm gonna cut out a big rectangle, so 29 by 7 inches, and I'll show you how I sew it off and how I'm gonna make the front tie, okay? lot of plants, if you can see. Maybe low-key a plant freak. I don't know. Like, I have a really dark apartment, yet I love plants, and then I still have more plants, and people give me plants, but I just take them. And now my apartment's full of plants, so like I had to buy a grow light and everything. It's like that. Pinned her all in place, and now it's time to sew. Up there, right there, with a straight stitch. I like double folded this right here. This is about 1 inch. And I'm just gonna like sew along here, leaving a canal so I can put the strap through. So I'm gonna do that on both sides. So for the strap, I'm just gonna cut out like the longest part of my fabric just to have extra, just in case. So it's gonna be 40 inches long by 1.5, about like 1.5 or 2 inches in width. So I'm gonna cut one out.